it's me, Stacy Yada. I hope this video changes your life, saves the world, and teaches you not to dread because God said. So, when I was a believer, like 2004, I read a book and it said, it's a sin to dread and regret. It's a sin to dread and regret. But if you think about it, that's awesome because God doesn't want us thinking about negative stuff. So then, and then the way He teaches me is He just tells me, stop it. Or do it. So I'd be driving and I'd be like, oh, I got to go home and I got to wash dishes. And He's like, stop it. Or, oh, I got to do this. Stop it. You know, I'm like, what? He goes, you're dreading. So every time I thought about something that I was like, oh, no, He's like, stop it, stop it, stop it. So I learned real fast. But I loved it because it just gives me more peace. So then here's another time where He taught me where it just comes in handy. So I was going to do this 75-story stair climb. So I read the best way to practice for it is to ride your bike. Riding does your body good. Is ride your bike up a hill, like a steep hill. Because I really couldn't we couldn't really practice in the building that has 1,500 stairs, 75 stories. So I found the steepest hill that I could find around me, and it was called Top of the World. I wonder why. So anyways, when I went to go ride, I'm riding, and then I'd stop, and I was practically crying. I go, oh, because it was so hard. I was like, oh, God, I can't do this. He's like, keep going. I'm like, oh, you're so mean. And then I'd ride again, pumping up, just going, and then I stopped again, practically crying, like, oh, God, I don't think I could do this. I don't want to do this. I keep going. So then I kept riding, and I'm serious. This hill was so steep that if you stop pedaling, you're rolling backwards. So finally I made it, but I stopped 4 times. I practically cried 4 times, and I was like, oh, I don't think I can do the race, God. He goes, well, we're going to do this again later on tonight. I'm like, what? Are you kidding me? You practically killed me right now. So then later on in the night, we got ready to ride. I go, okay, God, you know me, and I don't like to have like any negative stuff in my head, so you're going to teach me how to ride up this mountain the easiest, most enjoyable way possible. So He says, okay, so I want you to pretend you're snorkeling, and you're listening to your breath, and you're breathing deep breaths, and you're just enjoying listening to yourself breathe, because if you've ever been snorkeling, you listen to yourself breathe, it's so awesome. He goes, and then every pedal you take, you're just going to pretend you're doing like a lunge, and you're working out your legs. So every pedal you're taking, you're getting better, stronger legs, better butt. I'm like, okay. So then I start pedaling and breathing, and I'm like, oh, this feels good. Oh, this feels good. And then I looked up, and I was like, ah, because now I know how much farther I got to go. He's like, stop dreading, stop dreading. Oh, put your head down. So I keep pedaling and pedaling, but then I looked up again. Ah! And he's like, keep pedaling. Oh, okay. So then I just kept pedaling. Next thing you know, I'm on top of the world. Woohoo! And this time, it was way easier. I didn't stop one time, and I didn't cry. I was so proud of myself. And so I was like, thanks, God, like, because He answered my prayer. Teach me how to do it the most enjoyable way possible. So He did, and then He said, and the reason why this time was easier is because you had more food in your body, because our food is our fuel for our body. So what you put in your body gives you great energy. So then, another story. So I lived in a house where I had to always make sure the kitchen was clean, and I like the kitchen, the dishes put away and washed and everything cleaned up at nighttime, so you wake up to a clean kitchen in the morning. So I went to the gym late, maybe like 11 o'clock at night, and then I come home like maybe 12:30, and then all of a sudden the whole kitchen's a mess. Like someone had a party, and there was dishes and pans and wine glasses and all over. Like it seemed like these people used every single glass and dish and spoon and fork and pot in the kitchen. So I was like, oh no. I go, God, why didn't you tell me? He goes, did you really want to know? And I'm like, no. Why would I want to know? And that, because that would mess up my workout, and then I'd be thinking like, oh, I better just go home and start cleaning now. But you know what? I'd rather have a good workout and not worried about what I have to do later on. Because then, the enemy would be like, oh, why they do that? Why they mess up the kitchen? So I liked it when I just came home and okay, now we gotta clean the dishes. So then I just put on a YouTube or a preacher, and it's just me and God just cleaning the kitchen. And next thing you know, it was a miracle. Everything spotless, ding, shining clean. And then I had more fun because I got to spend more time with God. So when you do things like that, and just knowing that God's right there, everything you do is fun. It's like they say, do everything unto the Lord. Well, now I know what that means. So even doing the dishes can be fun. Doing chores, God makes chores fun. So that's one of the best lessons that I could ever learn from God. So don't dread, because God said. Oh yeah, don't forget to hit the like button, the share button, the subscribe button. Go watch my other videos because I have wonderful adventures. And if you would donate, I would love it and totally appreciate it, because then I could keep telling my stories. Have a supernaturally wonderful day. Bye.